doesn't matter how you start. It's all about how you finish, right? You guys are watching Build a Brand on T-Shirt Side Hustle. I'm your host, Stan Banks, and I'm here with
Heather
and
Tamika.
And they are the
Drunk Aunties.
Oh my God.
You said the time. No, he wasn't supposed to say the. We were supposed to say the.
I'm gonna blame that on you because you messed up the last episode, but it doesn't matter, man. We just having fun. So it's a new year.
Yes,
that means new goals, new tasks, new ambitions, new everything, right? But before we jump into the new year,
right,
we got to take a look back at 2021.
Okay.
All right, now I know you guys are watching this. We're a little bit into the year, right? I told you guys we're gonna be bringing you guys episodes to bring you guys current, but that doesn't mean anything. This is a great point, so you guys know what you have to look forward to coming up when you wrap up next year, right? So we're gonna take a look back, and according to you girls, how did 2021 end? Was it successful? Was it not successful? What do y'all think 2021 was for you guys?
It was a successful lesson. Right.
Okay.
I like that. Okay.
Elaborate.
Well, yeah, let her elaborate.
Elaborate on that.
It was a successful lesson. We're learning. We're still trying to figure this out. So we're going through the processes of building our Drunk Aunties, our brand, our company. So I feel like we're learning. So it was a successful lesson.
What you think?
I can agree with it. I think it was successful. I think, as Heather said, we're branding, we're learning. This is absolutely like new. But I feel like the later half of the year was more successful than, of course, the top half of the year.
Last quarter.
It doesn't matter how you start. It's all about how you finish, right? And I would agree. You know, like forget how y'all feel about the year. The numbers say y'all finished the year off really strong.
Nice little bag.
And I want to say I'm gonna give y'all your flowers. I'm proud of y'all.
I thought she was about to take credit.
Thank you for the flowers.
I don't need no credit, okay? I'm doing quite all right. We built a beautiful platform to bring people like you guys on and to help other people learn. I don't need no credit for nobody else's work because I'm doing my own work, and you two will not outwork me.
That's fine.
That is nothing to do with you. It's just, just the way I approach things. So that I know I'm working hard. I'm a little unorganized and stuff like that, but I am working hard. So, what was the biggest takeaway from 2021? Either one of y'all.
I would say the biggest takeaway is more so really just honing in on building a brand.
Okay.
Like really, like the whole build a brand. I mean, honestly, it's building the brand because we had a lot of ideas on which way we wanted to go with everything and designs and, what was going to spark, what was going to hit, but really building the brand was really the lesson in 2021. It really was the one that was a driving force to say, that's what we need to focus on. We need to build a brand. When you build the brand, the people will come to the brand if they like it.
If you build it, they will come.
Right, they'll come to it. So it's like they like it or they don't like it, but everything was revolved around Drunk Aunties. Like it wasn't with, oh, I love this design, I love that. It was literally, we love the name, we love the brand, we love what it's about. So
I think that's the thing, right? Niches bring riches. So I'm gonna feature a product right now. It wasn't in my plans. Niches Bring Riches, the book. Get that. I'm telling you, I'm gonna link it down in the description below. If you're trying to build a niche market clothing line, it is something that will get you started. It will lay the foundation. This is the foundation for what I kind of help people with. I'm not with all the online sales and the ads and all of that stuff, but when it comes to laying the foundation, that's where I feel like I can help people. And that book is I ain't gonna say some of my best work. It is my best work, and it's timeless piece of work as well. So featured product, Niches Bring Riches, the book. So for you, what was your biggest takeaway from 2021?
My takeaway is making sure that we actually, so in the beginning of the year, we had a small community, we had a small following. And then towards the middle of the year, it got a little bigger and it started to grow. And then at the end of the year, it just took off. So I feel like making sure that those eyes have something to see.
Yes. Being consistent.
So making sure that they're coming, they're following, but are we giving them anything.
Content.
Once they come here and once they're part of our community, are we giving them a community to feel like they're a part of? Like, or is it just like, oh, I came, they tried to sell me something, and then it was nothing.
Right. A lot of people do that. They just post product, but they don't engage and they don't give people something to talk about throughout the process. So I think that is something that is really, really good. So, in this little piece here, you had a last push last year, and that was like the last 2 months. We kind of talked about it in the last episode, but you guys did a very, very, very good job with that, right? And I don't know if y'all want to say how well y'all did, but I want to know what is so funny.
Go ahead. What's the question? You want to know how many dollars we brought in?
Yeah, how successful was it last 2 months?
So we transparent. The last 2 months we did 13.
Yes.
Was it 13?
Well, yeah, a little over 12.
A little over 12,000, and then again, which is why we said the last ending of it was successful, because we went from the first 2 months when we first launched to 1,200.
Yeah,
I think that's what we started out. We were talking was 1,200 to getting towards the end of the year and really again honing in on branding and bringing in within that last quarter 13, like a little over 13.
So do you guys think that organization, which we talked about in the last episode, do you think that contributed?
I would say yes. I would say yes. I mean, organization contributed because it really made us the book that you had us put together. It really made us do the research behind it,
right?
And really start to put into perspective, who is your competitor? What are we looking at? Who are you even going up against? Is this just solely your market? What are you? It brought in the analysis behind what in the world we were doing.
Who are we actually selling to?
And it sounded like you was about to say no.
And I am.
Okay,
I agree with what she said.
Right.
I feel like where we messed up in the middle of the year, I feel like where we could have made a better judgment was we stopped selling.
Right. That was the episode.
We stopped selling. I feel like had we continued to sell and continue to even just push it a little bit, like maybe not every day posting about the products, but just at least, hey, don't forget we sell stuff too.
No, that's true.
I feel like we could have had a bit, like that end of the year would have been a whole lot
better.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. And again, I understand from both sides. I'm on the side of never stop selling, but at the same time, sometimes getting it together, because you could have kept selling and but it could have just been like, it could have never blew up. But I think taking that time, it actually served y'all well, because you came back with a stronger brand. You came back with a different look. You came back with a little bit more clarity on what it was about you girls that would make you different and stand out to the people that you're looking for. I think the foundation of that organizational information, you're not going to use it every day, but that makes you understand truly at the core who you are, who you're going after, and the things that you need to do to set you ladies apart.
That does make it our everyday practice, though.
Yeah, definitely. So, now, for you guys out there watching, I want to know how 2021 ended for you guys. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll be there checking it out. I want to hear your feedback of was 2021 successful, not successful, why it was, so that we can have some interaction, because I believe that we can all learn from each other here on Build a Brand. So jumping into the new year, you know what I'm saying? Flat out, I was a guy who grew up without setting no goals. I woke up in the morning and I did whatever came to mind. Whoever texted me got my attention, and we moved about just buck wild and never set no goals, never had a plan of action about what to do. Yeah, whatever, we just doing whatever. I might wake up in Florida today and book a flight tomorrow. I was just moving around. So we got to start the year off with a goal.
Right.
You don't have to hit the goal. You got to strive for the goal, but we plan to crush the goals.
Absolutely.
So what is the goal?
There's a dollar goal.
What's the dollar about? Who's going to say it? Can y'all say it together in unison? We got to practice first.
We might.
1, 2, 3.
$105,000.
Why the hell 5?
So you're going to look at me because as everyone strives for 100,000, so I was told of the goal, we're gonna strive bigger and we're gonna go 105.
You know, that reminds me of a little lesson. I was playing football and we was in the weight room, and I'm like a small guy, but I squat a ton. So I did like 495, and then another small guy came up and did 495. So I had to go back in there, and I did like 515. And I was no good for the rest of the day. Like, I was like walking in space, like I didn't know where I was. But I did it, you know, and it's somewhere on video, and I got photos. So, you know, you just got to do once. I will outwalk
just a little
you.
step above.
I will outwalk you. You know, and that type of, but having that type of competitiveness and wanting to do that stuff, it'll always set you ahead. You know, I'm big on nobody will outwork me. I'm not paying attention to how much you're working, but if I have that mindset in my mind, it's going to allow me to keep myself motivated and going. You know, ultimately, I'm only in competition with myself. All right, so new year, any big dates for the year? Anything big planned for the year? What is the brand Drunk Aunties gonna be doing in 2022?
That's a big question. So we got our first big day, which is January 31st, which is our anniversary.
First birthday.
Yeah, our first birthday for Drunk Aunties.
And what are we doing for the first birthday?
So we have some releases that are coming out. Just slowly trickling out throughout. Yeah, some new products that are trickling out throughout the month. We're planning a sale for the month. So, you know, doing it big.
A discount.
Right, doing it big for the Drunk Aunties on our first birthday, and you know, bring out more content.
And then you want to add to the year?
We will be making Auntie's Day a big thing,
Huge thing,
ginormous.
Did y'all make Auntie's Day?
No,
It's on the calendar. Yeah, listen, it's so many days on it. It's Donut Day.
And
it's
Siri.
It's,
And we like
it's
donuts.
all of this stuff.
We also like donuts, so on Donuts Day you have donuts for us.
Well, y'all should be having donuts with me. Okay? But
Drunk
no,
Aunties Day.
Auntie's
That's
Day,
cool.
we're gonna make that a thing.
that's cool.
Is July
And we're gonna
26th.
July 26th. So
Yes.
we're gonna celebrate it Drunk Auntie style.
Any plans for that? Off just preliminary ideas or thoughts or something y'all want
Definitely probably gonna have a nice design for that.
Yeah, a nice design. Probably maybe an event. We'll see.
Maybe a
We're
little
rolling
pop
it
up.
out. Yeah, we're rolling it out. We thinking.
to do? Since Tamika's been speaking first this whole
A little
episode,
pop-up.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
What is it that you want to tap into for 2022? That's a tap into for 2022. But yeah, what do you want to do in 2022? What do you think you can do to make this year $105,000 a year? What can you do to make the brand stronger?
In my brain, I feel like reaching out into our community. So keeping engaged with them, making sure that they see us, that they get to know us, so that they buy into us as people. Not all too much into us. Like, I don't want no beehive or nothing.
Oh man.
We just want to be the Drunk Aunties, and we just, you know, have a good time, and we drink some wine. We don't want you trying to beat up nobody in the elevator.
Right.
We just want to have a nice community. So I feel like if we
Wholesome community.
a nice wholesome community.
Right.
So I feel like if we do that, that'll help us. That'll definitely help us make the push exceed the goal, just by showing up and letting them see us.
Nice. Now, what about you? What do you want to tap into for 2022?
Everything, to be quite honest. I want to tap into wherever I can tap.
Tap.
Like, I want to tap into everything. I want to tap into the online ads. I know that's a big thing. Like, we haven't really jumped into that field as of yet, as far as like marketing ads and stuff that way. So I think that would give us a big push into our goal. Also with like meet and greet. So I want to go, like how to say it, like kind of tap into the community, but actually doing it physically. So finding some events, some conferences, making our own events, right? Like, and doing a lot of who are the Drunk Aunties tribe. Like, I think a lot of that will push us to where we want to go.
I think, you know, what you talked about earlier, I think it was you, Heather, who talked about consistency. Basically, I kind of said the word consistency, but, you know, the key to building community is consistency. You
Right.
know? As a person who built a platform that's pretty much about to cross 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and about 30,000 on Instagram, and, you know, I've never had a viral video, I've never had a viral moment, but only thing I did was show up. you
Right.
know, and
Right.
I gravitated towards, there's something else I want to add, people actually who, you know, like what I was about, or the message, or the hustle about what I was doing and just showing up. The ones who were for me gravitated towards
Exactly.
me, right? And, you know, I've gotten into, I curse too much, I do this too much, I do that. And hey, I respect you, you know, maybe I'm just not the person for you, but I'm
Right.
gonna always be myself in what I do.
Exactly.
And so the key to community for you guys out here watching is just showing up, you know, showing up consistently, giving people something to watch,
Right.
motivating people, showing people and sharing their experience, and being as transparent as possible. Not to say you got to be fully transparent, but understanding where, you know, things that will interest your audience, whatever it may be, but being as transparent so people, because people relate to you, you know, and I think that's the piece that where I say the people who are for you, rather, will show up, they will follow, they will go along for the journey. And now I'm at the point where, you know, I don't do a ton of tutorials on my platform anymore. I'm more so sharing people's stories and trying to show possibilities, because there are so many ways you can go, at least in this industry, in this field, and this is only one segment. You can be the printer, you could be the brand, you could be, you know, the middleman, you can be both. You can, you know, you can go any direction, from out of your house to a shop, you know, with 4, 5, 13 automatic machines, if that's the direction you want to go. And none of them are wrong. You know, I think that's the key. So if you guys can share, if you guys have a brain out there and you can share with your community what it's all about to be a part of the community, and the things that interest you and why you're a part of the community, if you can show those things and display those things, you know, you can build a successful community as long as you show up consistently. This episode's second featured product is Supercolor. That is my go-to for any full color print methods when it comes to using POD, that's press on demand, the #1 way to fulfill your orders and also have quality control. You guys can visit supercolor.tshirtscience.com. That's my affiliate link to let them know that I sent you, and that's your way of supporting the channel at no extra cost to you. Now, back to the Drunk Aunties. You guys are working on a podcast, right?
Yes.
Weekly. You
Yes,
know, and
correct.
one of the things that I told them is that, listen, y'all got to show up and do this podcast once a week, every week. I don't care if it's only 3 people watching. And it's hard to do. You know, when you're looking at the numbers, it's hard to do, but the numbers won't grow if you watch them. It's kind of weird because you'll feel less motivated. You just know you got to show up and do the work. You know, I used to be on live at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was 3 people. It was 15 people.
Right.
Now I turn my phone on, it's 100. It's 150. But if I never was consistent and gave 3 people the same energy as I gave the 150 people, it would have never grew, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing you ladies do as we learn content and building community and different things like that. So my question to you guys watching out there is what are your goals for 2022? Put your financial goal down in the comments below. Don't be afraid. Pick one. You know, and it doesn't mean that you have to hit it, like I said. Doesn't mean that you will hit it. It's something to strive for. But the plan is to actually crush that goal and do more. But you got to set your eyes on something. You know, I always tell this story in 2022, in 2020, I didn't know what I was going to do. I said, you know, hey, I'm going to make $100,000. I had no idea how I was going to do it. And I crushed my goal, you know, and I think just putting things out into the world that you want to see will help those things gravitate towards you. So, is there anything that any advice you can give about setting goals or, just about setting goals for people out there before we wrap this episode up?
To go for it. I mean, honestly, set your goal, even if even with saying 105, it sounds scary. Like, literally, it's just like 105, like, it's not realistic. But I think the thing about setting goals and setting those numbers high is that they just need to be realistic in your mind. And once they're realistic in your mind, I mean, you push forward for it, and that's how you figure it out.
And the way to make those realistic is you do the numbers, right? And what you do with this is, before I let Heather go, is you take that big goal, you divide it by 12, and that tells you what you need to do every month. You divide that by 4, that tells you what you need to do basically every week.
Right, exactly.
And then now you have some attainable things that you can do in the midst. And some weeks you may not hit the, you know, whatever that weekly thing is for whatever goal you set. So let's just say it's 1,000. Some weeks may be 600. Some weeks may be 300. But some weeks might be 2,000 or
Right.
2,500, and
Right.
just based on what you're doing, so it might even itself out. But you got to approach every week as a new week. Even if you crushed it and hit 2,000 or 2,500 or 5,000 when you only had to go
It's
1,000,
0.
don't take that time off in between.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Start over again and
Right.
go get that 1,000
Exactly.
because that'll put you in the mindset of always working. Sometimes we have experienced a lot of success or more success than we anticipated, and we take the foot off the gas and just start
Exactly.
to coast, and we go downhill, and it's hard to restart. That's where
Yeah.
that consistency factor comes in. So, any advice you have for setting goals or things that people could do in 2022?
No, same as hers. Just go for it.
I
Shoot
should
for
have let
the
you
moon.
talk first.
Shoot for the moon and
Land amongst the stars.
land amongst the stars. Or you might shoot for the moon and end up on Pluto.
Yeah.
That's what he did. So either way, you're in outer space.
Yeah, so
Having a good time.
we hope rather you guys enjoyed this episode. We hope you learned something. We got a lot of stuff planned for you in 2022. Just going along the journey in different parts of the business and planning things out. And some of this stuff is going to happen in real time really, really soon for you guys. But it's going to be things that we may start in one episode but may not come together for 6 months or something like that. So just to give you guys a real blueprint on what you could be doing if you follow this show, you can follow the blueprint, make it apply to yourself, try to figure out how you can be original and whatever you care about for your niche, and go pick up the book, Niches Bring Riches. This is me, your boy, Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle with a shameless plug here with Tamika and Heather from the Drunk Aunties. Peace.